Right. 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 So, whenever he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. So he's a liar and he's father of it. So here Satan is identified as the father of lies. And when he speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. So when the devil presents a temptation to you, you present it as if it is something successful to you or something beneficial to you. But here we are being told when the devil speaks a lie, he speaks of his own. So at the end of the day, all lies always point back to his own. The first one he told in heaven, right? And Brother Tommy said, all the lie that he told, when you believe that lie, that robs you of life. And that is how he's a murderer. Right? All Satan's lies, once you believe it, it robs you of having life. Right? So here we are being told that the devil is a liar and he is the father of it. Next chapter we'll go back to is Revelation chapter 12 verse 9 that we just read, right? Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. It says, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent or ancient serpent, called the devil and Satan, which do what? Deceiveth the whole world. So here we see, first we saw he is the father of lies, and here we see he deceives the whole world. This is the power or the ability that the devil has. He lies, and with those lies, he deceives the whole world. This is the power or the ability that the devil has. One more scripture is Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 10. Revelation 20:10, and it says, and the devil that was deceived them was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. But the first part we saw, the devil deceived them. So all who are lost is because what? They were deceived by the devil. So you see here, the devil has the ability to do what? To deceive. Right? One more scripture, Hebrews chapter 2. Hebrews chapter 2. Verse 14. Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 14.
1 John chapter 2, and we look at verse 15. Right? 1 John chapter 3 and verse 15. You see, it tells us this. It says, whosoever hated his brother is a murderer. And you know that no murderer has eternal life abiding in him. So you see that when you hate a person, the Bible shows that you are a murderer. And it showed in John 8:44 that he was a murderer from the beginning. So when you hate people, you are just like the devil. You are already a murderer. Now, I want to compare that with what they said in this quotation by Mr. White in Patriots and Prophets, hardcover, on the chapter 10, Temptation and Fall. Now, in quoting this quotation, brethren, what we must see in truth and in fact is that the devil don't like none of us. He hates us. And that hate, the Bible shows us, with causing him to murder us. It is really the protection of God upon us that we are ready to preserved. Had it not been for God and we are abiding in faith, we would not be here. He would wipe out all of us because he hates us. Right? Now, Sister White explaining, as you showed the lies that you can see, and we know the deception of the earth took place with Eve in the Garden of Eden. But she tells us this. She said, I'm reading from Patriots and Prophets hardcover, page 52, under the chapter Temptation and Fall. She said, no longer free to stir up rebellion in heaven, Satan's enmity against God found a new field in plotting the ruin of the human race. In the happiness and peace of the holy year in Eden, he beheld a vision of the bliss that to him was forever lost. Moved by envy, he determined to incite them to disobedience and bring upon them the guilt and penalty of sin. He would change their love to distrust and their songs of praise to reproaches against their Maker. Thus, he would not only plunge these innocent beings into the same misery which he was himself enduring, but would cast dishonor upon God and cause grief in heaven. So here we are seeing, when Satan looked at Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden and saw these holy beings exalting Yahweh, glorifying him, he saw what he wants us to do and what he lost as a result of disobedience. And he made up his mind that he was going to do everything to seek to get them to fall. And so it is with us. If as we serve God now, the devil will come to every means and way possible to try to get us to dishonor God. But the nice thing about it, brother, we don't have to dishonor God. We can remain faithful no matter what they do. We know how we generally come with rumors, then threats, and then murder. But the nice thing about it, even though we are careful to the truth, we will be resurrected in the full resurrection. Right? Doesn't stop us again. You can't solve a problem if you deal with the problem. You have to follow the standard. And the scripture shows in 8:20, Isaiah, if you don't want to get the money, if you don't go according to his rules, you have no right to me. What I come to do is to show that our Lord Jesus Christ, who is without sin, never sin, because sin will be related with Lucifer. Advisor do not be deceived. Remember Matthew 24:4, do not be deceived. And right in the Bible, we show that. I'm going to show how Jesus, who is the Lord of righteousness, showed don't be deceived of unrighteousness to Lucifer. 1 John 3:11. The first show that Jesus showed we have no okay. 1 John 3:5. And we know that he was manifested to take away our sin, and in him is no sin. You see? So Jesus will be with that promise. Right? Let us go up again. Little children, let no man deceive you. Because John is calling Jesus. He that doeth righteousness is righteous because he is righteous. And he shows the common and how we deal with it. So we can follow. Right? Look at it now. He that committed sin is of the for the devil is from the beginning. For this purpose, the Son of God was manifested that he might destroy the works of the devil. So you see that? So you can be sinful. Alright, following the standard is Christ, the order of people. And look at the same thing with people. Right? Right? So you cannot be deceived. You can be born again, transformed, sinful.
Right. So we saw that the devil had the power to do what? To deceive and to kill. So moving on now. We also told in Revelation 13:2, verse 2, the dragon gave him his power and his seat. What is the seat of the dragon? What is the seat of the devil? First, we will go to Ezekiel chapter 28. Ezekiel chapter 28, from verse 1 coming from, right? I'll point out the verses. From verse 12 to 17. Ezekiel chapter 28, verse 12 to 17. And it says, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre, and say unto him, Thus saith Yahweh God, Thou seest of the sun, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Now we know the king of Tyre says a type of Lucifer. Apparently this king exalted himself as God. You'll see that in verse 1 and 2, right? He exalted himself as God. But God uses this king to further tell us about what happened with Lucifer in heaven. Right? So verse 13. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. So here we know he's talking about Lucifer now because the king of Tyre was not in Eden, right? Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was thy covering. The sardius, the topaz, the diamond, the beryl, the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of thy tabrets and of thy pipes are prepared in thee the day that thou wast created. Thou art the anointing cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Thou art upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Now before we move on, right? I just put together some little pictures. Just use the imagination a little, right?
When it says Eden, that's not four, but that's what happens. So the garden of Eden here identifies the grace and the glory that he has when he was in heaven. And that's type of what happened.
Yes, he was jealous of Adam and Eve. So, just picture, right? Now, this is a picture, a very poor representation of the throne of God in heaven, right? But I take it because the person who put it together, this was like the best representation of all those on the internet. Because apparently people don't read the Bible and they just try to put together pictures of the throne of God. But this person apparently take a look at Ezekiel chapter 1. In Ezekiel chapter 1, Ezekiel got a vision of the throne of God. He saw four wheels
stone.
And the stone will be bigger because the person has a second. And then you have a rainbow around the stone and you like to see right, right? But the point is, I just showed this to show this is what you can imagine, it is better than that. This is how God's stone would be in heaven, but much better, right? And we are told in verse 14, thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. Now, in the earthly sanctuary, Moses was given a pattern of the sanctuary in heaven, right? And this is called the Ark of the Testament. And this would represent God's truth. Now the picture before didn't have the covering cherub, so the two angels. So I will put this one to show. But God showed there are two angels. This is the Ark of the Testament. We call it the Ark of the Testament because the 10 commandments of the Testament was put inside the Ark. Right? And in this here, the cover symbolizes the mercy seat, which symbolizes God's truth. On either side of God's truth have two angels, the wings stretched out over, right? That's why they call them covering cherub, right? So Lucifer was one of the angels next to God's truth, right? Now just using the imagination a little because I want to emphasize what happened in Lucifer's mind when he comes to the Bible is trying to know what's having a seat or having a position, right? So Lucifer was one of these angels on the throne, next to the throne, of God. This one much better than that, right? And I don't think it is gold. Yeah, if you can show a color, you can look up the color here, and I don't know what color it is, but it's called out a particular stone, right? But the point is written in it. Lucifer was a covering cherub, one of the angels next to God's truth, right? Right? And verse 13, that God describes what he would look like. What tells us every precious stone was like covering. Now when to look up the different stones that God followed here, right? Now I put the stones here so you can see the color of the stone. I don't know if God will literally cover Lucifer with the whole set of stones, but I want to believe that it's the colors, the light that was shining from him, right? So, this is the color, this is the talion, this is the topaz, the diamond, the beryl. Some scientists say that the beryl won't have a pure beryl, won't have a particular color, but because of the impurities in the soil wherever the beryl is, it will take on different colors. Now we don't have no impurities in heaven, so I don't know what will affect the color of the beryl in heaven, right? This is the onyx. They have purple and black and red onyx. Jasper stones could be many different colors. So just imagine how colorful and beautiful this was. This is the sapphire stone, emerald green, example of a carbuncle stone, and the gold.
So this is what idea is supposed to have in terms of like when you think of Lucifer, you know the Bible tells us in Ezekiel that those that are the anointed cherub that cover it, and I have set the soul. In other words, his role or his function going giving that as a created angel. But in terms of a pictographic view, since angels are made from light, how are we to picturing what was like a light, all different colors, or it was something that literally could have been seen or how? I mean, that's a different experience, right?
This is what my imagination could come up with. I'll put together this picture to show. Because Sister White explained, I think it's a picture from one of those books. She explained Lucifer. He had a the light around it that was brighter than all the other angels. And then God described them here with a different tone. So it's a picture, you know, angels are made of light. But it's a picture like a bright, and we know they have bodies, right? Because the Bible tells us they are terrestrial bodies and celestial bodies. So we could just use our imagination, right? So Lucifer will have a bright light that he is next to God's throne. And the different colors of the soul is the different colors that will emanate from his body. That's different colors. So he's like an angel, bright light shining because he's next to God, the kind of glory of God. And God gives us different colorful souls to describe him. So it would be a bright, bright, bright angel. This is very cool, right? But a lot of colors, different colors emanating from it. So this, sorry. Excuse me? What about Sarah?
Angel, the foam.
The Bible describes seraphims and cherubs, but that is something else like that. Some are four wings, some are six wings, some, if you guys saw some are four wings and just saw six wings and so on, right? But this is just a poor example of Lucifer was very beautiful, right? And he was next to God's throne. Now, verse 15 coming down, we are told what happened to Lucifer, right? Now, brethren, this picture by the way, on the internet is a picture of Saint Raphael. In fact, this is Saint, right? So, you know, some people say, we have a Saint, we have the Saint. Lucifer had what of Lucifer excuse? He had none. So, thou was perfect in thy ways from the day that thou was created, till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with what? Violence. And thou hast what? Sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God. I will destroy thee, O covering cherub, from the midst of the source of fire. Verse 17. Thine heart was lifted up because of what? Thy beauty. Because he looked at himself. He finds so beautiful. And Lucifer means light bearer. He is the one who would be by the throne of God. Get all the nice revelations from Christ. And he would go and share with all the angels. So he looked at himself. Thy heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy rightness. Stop here, right? So Lucifer looked at himself. And instead of looking at the fact that God made him so, God is responsible for his beauty, for his wisdom. He started looking at himself. That his beauty originated with him. That his wisdom originated with him. That is what Lucifer, that is what went on with Lucifer in heaven. So now let us look at Isaiah chapter 14. So when looking at his beauty and his wisdom, this is what he came up with in his mind. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 to 14. What tells us further what exactly was the thought in Lucifer's mind. Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12 to 14. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst make any nation? For thou hast said where? In thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. Lucifer was already in heaven. How will he ascend into heaven? It means he wanted to ascend above than what he already is, and ascended one in heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. What throne he has to exalt above the stars of God? So we see this angel already using the imagination, right? And stars of God, the Bible uses stars symbol as angels. We want it to be higher than an angel, more than an angel. He says, I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. This here is taken from Psalms. In Psalms, God shown it the side of being in the north, right? So Lucifer is saying that here that he will sit on God's throne to see what's going on in his mind. He wants to be an ascended one in heaven. He wants to be more than an angel. He wants to sit on God's throne. So we get him to see his seat. This seat is an imaginary seat. This is only taking place in his imagination, right? And he comes out and says this now, verse 14. I will ascend above the height of the clouds again similar angels. And he says what? I will be like the Most High. So this is the seat. When we are told the dragon gave him his power and his seat, this is the seat of Lucifer. This is what Lucifer imagined in his mind. He wants to be God with God. He didn't say, I want to be the Most High. He said, I want to be like the Most High. So he wants to be God existing, but no, he can't exist apart from God. So God is existing, but he wants to be like God. So he wants to be God with God.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worship and serve the creature more than the creator who will be left forever. So the moment that Lucifer took his eyes off of God and looked at himself, he changed the truth. So you notice that because he was created, because God was created, they changed the truth of God into a lie. I just want to answer that, right? I think the statement in Ezekiel chapter 28, when God says, thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee so. In other words, this is your role and your function. You can be more than that. And I give you that. I create you and I give you that role to fulfill. How come now you want to be more than that? You see? And that is the problem, right? You want to be more than what God gives you to fulfill. That is trying to use that.
He says, Lucifer lost his purpose, and Revelation chapter 12 tells us that his place was not found in heaven, right? So, Lucifer gave up his purpose. And so are we, just like how Lucifer took his eyes from God and looked at everything that he has originated from himself. Just like us, if we take our eyes from God and, you know, many of us are blessed with gifts and abilities and abilities. The moment you take, your eyes from God and not acknowledging that it's God who gives you those abilities, your beauty or your wisdom or whatever you will, it is true. We always have to acknowledge that it is from God, right? Nothing, like all those truths here that we learn here today. I can sit down and think of this in my own mind, right? So these things originate from who? God. God is truth. And Lucifer, imagine him the covered here. He gets in Revelation from Christ. And wants to claim that all those things originated from himself. And he is God with God. Nonsense. Right? What you talking?
Yeah, what is this? Yeah, we have to give it the imagery of inception anytime. What is this?
Imagination that is God with God.
That is it.
Yes, that is his position. Right? A mental position in his mind. Only exists in his mind. An imaginary thing. He imagines that he is born with God. And that is his seat or his position, a mental position, right? So I have some quotations here. Lucifer claims to be God with God via pantheism, right? Lucifer taught pantheism, and which is why it tells us pantheistic theories are framed by Lucifer, the fallen angel. So I have a quote here. This is taken from 8 Pigs of Alphi, Isis and Day, Volume 2, page 264 to 265. Now this lady has the breath of each other. Alright. This is like Lucifer speaking himself, right? It says, the esoteric doctrine or the hidden doctrine then teaches, like Buddhism and Brahmanism, and even the persecuted Kabbalah, same Kabbalah is persecuted, that the one infinite and unknown essence exists from all eternity in regular and harmonious succession. So here she is saying the unknown essence, so she's saying God is an essence and unknown, and it exists from all eternity in regular and harmonious succession. And she is saying these regular or harmonious succession is either passive or active. So she's saying God is an essence, he is either passive or active, meaning he's stagnant, he's not doing anything, or he becomes active. So, she says here, upon inaugurating an active period, so when God becomes active, when that essence becomes active, says the secret doctrine, an expansion of his divine essence from within outwardly occurs in obedience to the eternal and immutable law, which is the phenomenon of visible universe is the ultimate result of the long chain of cosmical forces thus progressively set in motion. Explanation. God is the essence, is either passive or active. But when that essence, which is God, becomes active, the universe is created. That is what she is saying. And this is what Lucifer taught. He teaches that God is in everything. When God became active, everything was created. He and the angels and everything else. So he taught that we are all gods. Right?
The scripture said, awake to righteousness, right? How was it that Satan himself said that at some point in time he was awakened to know that he was a God? And that's what she's saying, that when he is passive, when God was passive there, some awakening will take place for them now to realize there is God and be active and create now.
Well, remember Lucifer was the covering cherub. He would get light. He was Lucifer, the light bearer. He would get light from one and one sharing. So he would claim that this is a new revelation that he found out. Remember he told Eve, for God doth know. So he was teaching her something that God knows and he learned. So he come to tell her. So same thing he did in heaven. For God doth know. We are all gods. And God dwelling in you and the righteous. And God dwelling in you and the righteous. And God dwelling in you and we are all gods. And that is what Lucifer taught in heaven. Right? So in heaven, sister, sorry. Yes, sister. What?
You have a quote here in a little booklet you have it. As angels see it. Page 5. God created man to show Lucifer, look, this is the position you wanted. Glory and honor, authority, recognition. This is the reality of it. If I have to dwell in you or any other creation, it has to be by imputed dwelling. So, for God to dwell in creation, it has to be by imputed dwelling. It goes on. But this bold angel dared to question the will of God. Why do you have to dwell in me as a reputed dwelling? And you dwell in the Son as identity dwelling? So you dwell in the Son of God as identity because God is God. Jesus Christ is God. The Holy Spirit is God. The Father is God, but you are not God. And it says, why can't you dwell in me as identity dwelling too? So this was his quest. He wanted God to dwell in him as identity dwelling. So his identity will change from a creation and suddenly you see to become God, with God, for God himself, you know, as you have it. So this is the story. I like this.
Yes, so, and to get the identity and dwelling that he wanted, he had to come up with pantheism.
Right.
Right? So, one more quote. This is taken from H.P. Blavatsky again, The Secret Doctrine, Volume 2, page 515. She says, God and Satan were identical. For since the Logos, which is God, is the aggregate of that one divine host accused of having fallen, it will follow that the Logos and Satan are one. Explanation. She is saying God and Satan is identical. And she is saying, since God is the aggregate of that one divine host accused of being fallen. So she's saying God is the aggregate of Satan. Aggregate means formed by the combination of several separate components. Like how you have gravel, you have all kind of different stone put together. So God is part of Satan. That's what she's saying. Right? God and Satan are one.
So is that a God ingredient to that?
Yes, the God is a divine essence. So, this is what Lucifer taught in heaven. That God is a divine essence and he pervades everything. So every time you come across a doctrine from Hindus and whosoever that creation is God, some people say we are gods. Right? As a matter of fact, just recently we had a missionary work. And the man claimed that in Genesis chapter 1 verse 1 when it says, in the beginning God created, he said that scripture is wrong. The creator is not God. The creator is the creator and we are gods. Where you get that from? Super doctrine. So this man literally stand up and told us he is God. He said, I am Yahweh and you are my disciples. Blasphemy. So people actually teach this kind of doctrine. So when you hear those kind of doctrines, they come from who? Lucifer. This is what he taught in heaven. Lucifer taught pantheism. Pan meaning creation and theism from God, right? Meaning God is in everything. We are gods with God. That doctrine came from Lucifer. Sorry. So, Lucifer taught pantheism in heaven, and this is the seat. It is a mental position, an imaginary sitting in God's throne. Right? Moving on. Lucifer had the position of light bearer. Lucifer means light bearer. So he would learn from Christ and teach others. So his controversy in heaven was with God in the person of the Son. Right? The Son has the office of mediator or revelator. We are told Christ is the mediator.
Yeah.
Christ reveals things to us. Right? John chapter 1 tells us he reasonably explains the Father. Matthew tells us no man knows the Father except the Son. No man knows the Son except the Father. Right? And no man knows the Father except the Son, and to whomsoever he will reveal it to. So, Christ is the mediator or the revelator. So Lucifer looked at himself. Hey, I am light bearer. I learned from Christ and I go and speak. I go and reveal to others. So he's sharing light to others. So he look at himself and say, hey, He said, Christ is revealing, and I am doing something like revealing too, because the angels didn't know before I tell them. So I am revealing too. So Satan had a problem with Christ. And let us look at that in Luke chapter 8. We'll see an example of that little hatred there in Luke chapter 4, Luke chapter 4, verse 6. Luke chapter 4 and verse 6. Now Luke chapter 4 here, let us look at verse 5 and 6. This is the temptation in Matthew chapter 4. The temptation of Christ, right? Luke chapter 4, verse 5 and 6, it says, and the devil, taking him up into a high mountain, showed him all the kingdoms of the world in a moment of time. And the devil said unto him, all this power will I give thee, and the glory of them. For it is delivered unto me, and to whomsoever I will give it. Since when? Since when? Who gave Lucifer all the kingdoms of the world, and he can give it to who he will give it to? That statement didn't sound familiar. Remember last week, Daniel chapter 4, God told Nebuchadnezzar, you will know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will. Amen. That is the position of God. Amen. So Lucifer here, in telling Christ that, Lucifer is claiming to be what? God. So that is why in verse 7 and 8 now, verse 7 he says, if thou will what? Worship me, all I will give it to you. So Lucifer is claiming to Christ here, I am God, and I can give you these kingdoms. And if you bow down to me, if you acknowledge what? That I am God. Acknowledge my position. I am God with God, and I will give these kingdoms to you.
Why is God with God? Why give him that which he was created? God was created already. Why not create something? Why give it to him?
Yeah, that's true. You just started saying, why he didn't create something and then come and tell Christ, well, look, I create this, I will give you this. He had to take things that God already created, right? So here we are seeing in front of Christ, who is God in a temple of flesh, Lucifer was claiming to be God, and he was telling Christ, bow down to me, acknowledge that, and I will give these kingdoms to you.
I was now thinking Satan's whole view of the God here, Lucifer's whole view of the spiritual law changed because I have a controversy with Christ. It means that he was not watching Christ's body as if the body was God. So that's why he watched his body and said, well, I am God too. He didn't have a controversy with the first person and the third person. So he was watching the body of Christ himself and saying it is good. So he has lost his whole, he has the appreciation of, the whole view of the spiritual world has gone out the wrong way.
We could recall that in John chapter 8, verse 44, Jesus said something. He told us something about Lucifer. He says, let me just read it. Right? It says here, you have the father the devil, and the lust of your father you will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth. Dealing with that part. What truth that Lucifer did not abide in from the very beginning that caused him to be a murderer? What truth he did not imbibe? There was a truth, and he didn't imbibe it. Now watch something here down in Romans chapter 10. Now we know in Jeremiah chapter 6 and verse 23. Chapter 23 and verse 6. We are told that Yahweh is our righteousness. Yes. So the righteousness of God is Yahweh himself. So hear what Paul tells us here in verse 6. It says, but the righteousness which is of faith, speak it on this wise. So this righteousness that is of faith is Yahweh himself that is in faith. And this is how Yahweh speaks. He says what? Say not where. But we know it has historical setting behind this with the Babylonians and some of the other nations. They see the righteousness of God far away in some other nation and they have to go for it. But here the righteousness which is of faith, speak it on this wise. What does it say? Say not in thine hand. Now when you go to Isaiah now, 14 and verse 12, as Sister quoted earlier on. So you hear the warning, say not in thine hand, who shall ascend? Verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground which didst weaken the nation? For thou hast said in thine hand, I will ascend into heaven. So the very sentiments that comes from Yahweh, who is righteousness, say not in your heart, who shall ascend. Here we see Lucifer is doing it. He's doing it, but his ascending in heaven is that he wants to be God with God. So the truth he did not abide in is that God alone is God. He didn't abide in that. You see? And one more text, if you look at Revelation chapter 2. This is in her study also, Revelation 2. Something very significant here. And verse 13. Christ is showing the investigative judgment verdict to the church ages. And here he's saying this, I know thy works where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is, and thou holdest fast my name, and hast not denied my faith. So notice, right where Satan's seat was set up in Rome, you had a people there who did not deny the name of Christ. How they did not deny it? By holding on to his faith, the faith of Jesus. But notice Christ said that Lucifer, he did not abide in the truth. But here he says, the people who did not deny his name abide in his faith. So faith is the truth. There we see faith is the truth that come from Yahweh, that he alone is God. Lucifer fell away from that and pressed him. We have to start actually warning the world about this great evil. Yes.
So in Isaiah pages, Mrs. White tells us under the chapter The Victory, page 61, concerning what we just read in Luke. She says, now the tempter offered to yield up the power he had usurped. It wasn't given to him, he usurped it. Christ might deliver himself from the dreadful future by acknowledging the supremacy of Satan. That's what Satan wanted. He wanted Christ to acknowledge, I am one with God. But to do this was to yield in the victory in the great controversy. It was in seeking to exalt himself above the Son of God that Satan sinned in heaven. He looked at Christ. Christ revealing, I doing something like revealing to I am light bearer. I want to be God with God. I want a seat like that. I want a position like that. So Lucifer exalted himself above the Son of God in heaven. That is how he sinned. She says, should he prevail now, it would be the triumph of rebellion. When the tempter offered to Christ the kingdom and glory of the world, he was proposing that Christ should yield up the real kingship of the world and hold dominion subject to Satan. Pay attention to that. She said he was proposing that Christ should give up the real kingship and hold it and hold dominion in subjection to Satan. When Satan says the kingdom is given to me and whomsoever I will give it to, Satan knows the kingdom is not his. Satan knows it belongs to Christ. So for Christ to say, for Satan to tell Christ, it is given unto me and to who, and I will give it to you if you bow down to me. He wanted Christ to hold a dominion in subjection to him. So this is what he wanted in heaven, and he continued it on the earth here. She continues, Christ declared to the tempter, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship Yahweh thy God, and him what? Only shalt thou serve. You would come to God in a temple of flesh and tell him to bow down to you. It means he wanted God to acknowledge his position, his imaginary seat, that he is God with God. That is what Lucifer taught in heaven. That is his imaginary seat. I will be like the Most High. I will be God with God. Right? Right? So, this seat now, so we know in Revelation chapter 12 tells us that he and his angels were cast out. He prevailed not in heaven, so the argument did not prevail, right? Lucifer's argument did not prevail. He and his angels were cast out. Revelation chapter 12 tells us that. So it's a failed argument, right? Next. So this imaginary seat now that he is God with God. Okay, this wasn't this one. Next one. So this imaginary seat, sorry Bridget, this imaginary seat, Satan literally gave this seat to one man in one church, in one city in the world. The Bible is telling us that the dragon gave the papacy his power to deceive and to kill. His imaginary setting was imaginary setting of God. He imagined that he is God with God, that is his seat. So yeah, let's put together a little video just emphasizing the one man in this one church who claims to be God on earth, right? I can't let the audio tape, but there's nothing, you have no words in it, right? That's not one. Just read it, right? So one man in one church, he have a strange authority in the world. Millions of people.
You have a strange influence.
Yes, a strange influence and authority. If yeah, just want this to move. Go ahead. So I'll just read it out, right? So this man has a strange influence and authority in First Faith. So move up that way. So he has a strange influence and authority in him. Right? Millions go to see him. Millions go to see him. There is millions of people there. Actors. Find him so famous. World leaders go to see him. This is German Chancellor Merkel. Church leaders from all over the world go to see him. People bow to him. This is a royal family in Belgium, I believe. All the priests bow to him. People bow to this man. Where he gets this authority from? Kings and emperors were subjected to him. This was King Henry. King Henry had to bow to him. Emperors gave him authority. Emperor Justinian gave him authority over civil law. Made him the head of all churches. Made him the corrector of heretics. He killed millions of people. Millions for 1260 years. Millions massacred for him. He determines doctrine. He forgives sins. He's infallible. He claims to be God on earth. The Pope and God are the same from Pope Pius V. From whence comest thou? One pastor in one church, in one city, Rome. Revelation. The dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. So, this
of the resurrection.
So the dragon, the devil, he has this imaginary concept in his mind that he is God with God. take this seat, this mental position, and give it to this man, the Pope, right? And the Pope claims to be God on earth. His title, Vicarius Filii Dei, means Vicar of the Son of God. Last week and the weeks before, I've read many quotations where many of the popes claim that they are God on earth. Some of them are bold enough to say they don't just represent Christ, they are Christ in the flesh, right? So the Pope, the office of the papacy, whichever man goes in that office, is God on earth. They acknowledge, yes, there's God in heaven, but he is God on earth. So that is his seat given to him from the devil. Ellen G. White, the great controversy, she said she's speaking about the papacy. She was induced to yield allegiance to the representative of Satan, the Bishop of Rome. So here she is calling the Bishop of Rome the representative of Satan. From the same book with page 83, she says, the arch-deceiver had not completed his work. He was resolved to gather the Christian world under his banner and to exercise his power through his vice-regent, the proud pontiff who claimed to be the representative of Christ. So here, the arch-deceiver gave this pontiff this position of being the representative of Christ, or God with God on the earth. So this is the seat that Satan gave to this one man in this one church in Rome, right? The position of God with God. So when we are told the dragon gave him his power and his seat, this is the seat. An imaginary position or mental setting in the seat of God, claiming to be God with God.
There are two quotations you just read. One where he is identified by the representative of Satan and papacy, right? And then one where he's identified as the representative of Christ. So in his office as the representative of Christ, he's really the representative of Satan. So then the office of the Pope is really what Satan wanted for himself, so that the Pope represents Satan. That is as plain as we can get. And here Mrs. White saying it in two different ways.
So, a few studies back, I told you all about the serpent hole that looked like the serpent, right? I've got a little short video of it, right? They call it the Paul VI Audience Hall. This is in Vatican City, just outside the Vatican. Now, I find this point was real interesting. Now, this is a map of, this is Rome here, and this peninsula here, right? And this is, against France and Spain and all these places. Down here is Egypt. And on the side here would be Jerusalem and Babylon, etc. Now with the kingdom of Greece, it was divided into 4. And then eventually, the north, the south, the east and the west, right? It was divided into 4 generals. But then eventually, it came down to 2 generals. Seleucus, the king of the north, and Ptolemy, the king of the south. Now, up here is the north. We know eventually the papacy became the king of the north. Now remember in Isaiah, Lucifer says, I will sit in the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. This is the north, and this is literally the sides of the north. The Vatican is literally here, literally in Rome, in the sides of the north. He really did put his seat there, his throne there. This is Paul VI Audience Hall. The Pope was here to preach to people, right? What does it look like? This is the Pope Paul VI Audience Hall. Many people on the internet call it the Serpent Hall. This is the architectural design of it. This is solar panels to get the air condition, heat and everything from it, from the sun. The windows are like two eyes. The two teeth, columns shaped like teeth. And in the middle here is the throne. The throne of the Pope in the middle here. And he stands there on the stage, literally stands in the mouth of the serpent and preaches to people. Literally.
Okay, see what is so strange about it? Why make the pillar looking like that? Why not put two straight pillars?
So Satan really wanted that architect. He wanted it like this because he knows this man, this office is his seat on the earth. So people call it the serpent. See people there? The Pope is in the middle there. It's just outside the Vatican. This is the Vatican here, and it is here. See the chair here? The Pope sits here.
Look behind it.
So we see Virgin Pope literally speaks from the mouth of the serpent or the dragon, right? I have one more 1 minute video that shows the priest, the Pope held something big in 2014 and many people were there, millions of people came. But here's what they did when they had this gathering. Yeah. Literally singing to Lucifer in the Vatican. April 2014. This ceremony was to induct two former popes to sainthood. So there's going to be two former pope saints in this ceremony. Yeah.
Seus
explain God and His own creation.
Inveniat
May I say, O Lucifer, who knows no suffering?
Christus
Christ, your Son,
qui regressus ab inferis
came back from the dead, shed his sins, peaceful life in the human race, shed his peaceful life. It's alive and reigns forever and ever.
Saeculorum.
But he says Christ is Lucifer's son. Everybody say amen.
Flamma Seus Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille in quam Lucifer qui nescito casum Christus filius tuus qui regressus ab inferis humano generis serenus iluxit et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
They held an event to make two popes saints, and there they sang to Lucifer.
Which popes they made saints?
I don't know. I didn't check to see which popes exactly. John Paul II
and some of the others.
Yeah.
But if they are God on earth, how do you make them a saint? They are higher than a saint.
Yeah.
But they are God on earth.
So here we see in Vatican they are praying to Lucifer, right? Singing to Lucifer. So, brethren, once more, when we are told the dragon gave him his power and his seat, we've found out that the power is the power to deceive and kill, and his seat is what? An imaginary position that he is God with us. And he gave, yes, and we call it the fourth office. And he gave that position to the Pope on earth. Right? One quote here by Mrs. White. Sorry, not Mrs. White, the Catechism of the Catholic Church, page 205, by Jeffrey Chapman. The Roman Pontiff, head of the College of Bishops, enjoys this infallibility in virtue of his office, when as supreme pastor and teacher of all the faithful, he confirms his brethren in the faith. He proclaims by a definitive act a doctrine pertaining to faith or morals. So here he is claiming that the Roman Pontiff, he enjoys his infallibility. So the Pope is infallible. He cannot err. He has never erred and he will never err. That's what it means. He is infallible by virtue of his office. That is what we are being told. So the office of Pope is that he is God on earth, and because of that he is infallible. And we are being told that by the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Right? So that is the seat of Lucifer. Now in the Bible, God gave us ample warnings about the rise and the formation of Satan's seats. We have a few scriptures, but I'll just quote two, right? First we'll go to 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, because God did give the church warning to look out for this man who is going to arise and claim to be God with God. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2 to 4. 2 to 4. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 2 to 4. It says that ye be not soon shaken in mind or be troubled, neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as the day of Christ is at hand. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day, the day of Christ, shall not come, except there be a falling away first, that the man of sin be revealed. So Paul is telling the church here that the day of Christ would not come. Look out for a falling away. There's going to be people are going to fall away from the truth. Paul is telling the church that. And the man of sin will be revealed, the son of perdition. So you have to look forward for a man of sin, the son of perdition. Verse 4. Who opposes and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. So Paul is telling the church, here's what is going to happen. There's going to be a falling away. People will leave the truth. And as a result of that, there is going to be a man who is going to exalt himself. And he is going to claim to be God. So we were given warning to look for that in the falling away of the truth, those who fell from the truth, right? And we see that it is the papers. One more, Revelation chapter 2. Revelation chapter 2. And this is the same scripture, but I read, we just read it over quickly, right? Revelation chapter 2, verse 13. Revelation chapter 2 and verse 13. It says, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. Thou holdest fast my name and hast not denied my faith. Even in those days where Antipas was my faithful martyr, who was slain among you where Satan dwelleth. So here we are being told where Satan's seat is, right? So here the word Satan's seat is mentioned, right? So and we saw that Satan gave his seat to the Bishop of Rome. So this is just an example of scriptures in the Bible telling you about Satan's seat. A man will be in that seat exalting himself as God with God, right? So, authority. We are told the dragon gave him his power, his seat, and great authority. Authority is always authority recognition. Satan really don't have no authority. And Brother gave us a wonderful study showing us how he thinks, and he needed group aid. He needed a group. He needed somebody to recognize what he is saying. You understand? So authority is authority recognition. He wants people to recognize the imagination in his mind because he don't have authority. So this authority is authority recognition. And in the earlier video we saw millions of people going to see this man. Actors, prime ministers, presidents, all these people go to see what? Why? How could they recognize this one pastor in this one church? They recognize his authority, where he got that authority from. So, authority is always authority recognition. And we saw in Luke that Lucifer claimed to have authority over the kingdoms of the earth, and he wanted Christ to recognize that. So authority is always authority recognition.
Sister Ashley, yes. I thought about that situation here because you know you would want to know if people are very stupid. You understand? Because if this is a human being just like myself, somebody must begin to think in their mind, what power does he have? What authority does he have different to me? You know, it is amazing to see how people are deceived to such an extent. You actually cast your whole being, your whole destiny into the hand of another man like yourself. And the only thing I could come up with, brethren, is that what the scripture says. The Bible identifies that the carnal mind is enmity against God, and it is not subject to the law of God, and neither indeed can be. So once it is not subject to the law of God, it is not influenced by the truths to cause a questioning in your own mind, then you would just go with the flow. And these people, with all the sins, all the false idols, all the false ideologies in their mind, they go following after a crafty deception palmed off on them by the devil himself. So this is what I could come up with, but it is very amazing. It is really amazing. Yeah.
And then who are all sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Rulers of nations, prime ministers, governors, you name it, they go into a man. It's amazing.
Right, so just in summary, the Bible gives us in Revelation chapter 2, we just saw the Satan seat, right, with the Nicolaitans. In Revelation chapter 2 also, it talks about the synagogue of Satan, the Nicolaitans. John in 1 John tells us about the Antichrist. He says there are many Antichrists now in the world, the spirit of the Antichrist. And we read about Paul who says, the fallen away, the man of sin. Jesus in Matthew tells us about the false prophets. And Paul tells us about Satan being a minister of light. Revelation chapter 2 also has Jezebel, who is the Catholic Church. So this is just evidences in the Bible. Revelation chapter 2, you can look for 2 Thessalonians, 1 John chapter 4. Right? Because we have to wrap up now. So this is the great grand apostasy the Bible talks about. This is what the church had to look for. So they were supposed to be able to identify this man sitting in Satan's seat who claims to be God with God. But I said, that's wrap up, right?
Basically, what it is that when I'm talking quick, right? Basically, what the four part to do really is just follow the same pattern of Simon Magus, follow that same pattern as Simon Magus put down before, because before Simon Magus was the second Peter, that is the Peter we're talking about. Because Simon Peter, right, that is one of Christ's disciples. They are the epistles of 1 Peter and 2 Peter. But Simon Magus is really the Peter we're talking about, right? But in the ancient time, Simon Magus, right, he was a Jewish sorcerer, used to practice petty magic and exorcism and a lot of terrible, simple, different little things that magicians used to do in that time, right? And then he came into Rome, right? And then it is, in the ancient times when you talk about Rome, Rome is a place where it is going to get established. So you do all this incantations, etc., magical things, whatever it is he is do, and evil angels will work together with him, right? Because evil angels make bonds with sorcerers for the rest of their life until it is that they die. However, it is that they die, right? And then the Simon Magus will take Christianity and mix it up with the spiritualism that you already have, right? And you create pre-Christian Gnosticism. But when the Romans and them see all these different books being done by evil angels, and now it is they seeing Christianity getting mixed with the mysticism, they start to find a point and they start to take this. You know? So spiritualism is really the real issue there in the whole point. When you put Christianity, you can't find out what is spiritualism, what type of spiritualism is. It's really just oral literature, Talmudism. In that time, they didn't have no Talmud at the point in time, no Kabbalah. It's just oral literature. So you have one set of, you have the whole book of Genesis, Deuteronomy, and also the skepticism as to what happened in Genesis, but everything is for the serpent. So that way it is you find have a serpent all. So when you talk about a Catholic church, I was going to when you talk about a Catholic church, you're talking about a Catholic church who does worship a God named Metatron, or a God named Menso, or the serpent. Whatever serpent you're talking about, that way you're talking about. So when the Catholic Church actually come out from is out of serpent worship. So it's nothing complex now about it. Once it is you go on the proper research, and after spiritualism. Right?
Amen. So that is it, brethren. When the Bible tells us the dragon gave him his power, his seat and great authority. The power is the power to deceive and to kill. The seat is an imaginary sitting of a God with God, and authority is authority recognition, right? Now, some brethren have been asking me over and over about the charts. They want the charts, and I told them I put all the charts in one book. Now, why I had seen the need to advertise the book is because this book is just a summary of Brother Nyron's book. Brother Nyron's book have all the wonderful, beautiful details and how my little mind is function. If I see like 2 pages, I would summarize it small so I can remember and understand. So this book is a summary of what the same thing I've been going through. I put it in the book. And all the charts, this is just the front page, right? All the charts is in the book, right? So this is just to show you an example of what the book looks like. Now I have to show you a soft copy because I'm not able to print the colored copy yet. It is expensive. So I just advertise in the book on soft copy. Those of you who want it, bring your flash drives, go and print it for yourself. The colored copy is a bit expensive. But the black and white is $150 with the colored cover, right? And the colored, sorry? Everything up to the child is in head, right? So this is just to show all the charts there, pictures of the popes, right? Everything is there. So every time we speak about a pope, the picture next to the information to see what the pope looks like. Right? Nice, sister. Very nice. So, those of you who are interested in the color, if you like Brother Cameron, who like colors, Brother Cameron like colors, come for your soft copy and make a take. Your soft copy, right? So that is it there. So we can close with a word of prayer, right? Our Father which art in heaven, thank you once again for the opportunity to learn the truth, the opportunity to see Satan and his imaginary sitting as God with God. And thank you for helping us to see him as he really is, and helping us to understand that all sin it only really happens in the imagination, and it is a lie. So help us to apply these principles to our personal lives and help us to prepare for the end which is swiftly coming. Help us to enjoy the rest of the Sabbath day, abiding in the truth and glorify you in all things. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen.